Hello everyone. A couple guys I work with had been asking about me painting the wife's 66 Mustang, so I kind of thought I'd do a short walk around of the car before I get it painted, and it'll kind of help me document it too. So here it is. Poor thing looks a little rough. It's kind of been abused in the last 44 years of its life, but I'll kind of be quiet and just do a walk around of it. The whole front valance has been replaced on it. The front end was shoved way back. I had to actually take a come along and kind of stretch it, make it all fit again. The doors didn't want to fit right. It's got, of course, the new headlight buckets it's got its eyes put out right now, but new headlight buckets and everything for it. Quarter panels weren't in that bad a shape. Biggest problem was down low. I had that was completely rusted out, and you can probably tell that the door gap doesn't quite fit like it should, and it probably never will. So that's kind of the best it's going to get. Up top, the hood, somebody had set something on it. Obviously it's got a pretty good low spot there. Somebody had set a toolbox or a soda can or threw a rock at it, or who knows what happens to these cars. So either way, who knows about that. It is a 6-cylinder 200 cubic inch car, automatic. Thing runs like a top. Once I get it painted and everything, I'll probably put a video on here of it running, but it runs good, runs pretty decent. The battery tray is pretty well toast down inside there, kind of hard to see, but still got to put the front end or the other headlight cover on it. This side's not too bad yet. We'll get to that part. Up top, the roof, what you see is actually tape that you would put on flashing. That's just kind of up there temporarily to mask out holes and just, you know, kind of take care of that. I had to put a patch panel in there and grind all that down. That's what that is. That was completely missing on the top side. These parts here, you can see right in here in this area, there were rivets. There was a piece of sheet metal that was riveted over here whenever I pulled the vinyl top off, and it was covering this whole area. This is all a new piece of steel welded in, and I don't have the filler done here yet, but it was all welded in, and I had to reshape all of that. I could actually take my hand and pass completely through here. This part of the car was not attached down low. The only thing holding it there was a prayer. So it had been smacked real hard in the rear quarter and shoved everything in the rear end over. It bent the wheel, screwed that all up, popped the welds here where the brazing is. You can kind of see I've welded that back together. I haven't put seam sealer on it yet, but I had to weld in the whole new quarter. It had smashed it on there. Low spot in the quarter, no big deal, it's a new quarter. Kind of expect that from shipping. But down inside, and it's kind of hard to see, it's dark, so down inside there is a area in here for storage, or it's just a drop down really for the quarter. When it was smashed, there was a coolant jug, 2 coolant jugs, and a jack handle and jack, which are here. These here were all stuffed down inside of that hole. Didn't even know they were there. Whenever I cut the quarter panel off, they fell out. Had no idea they were actually there. So, you know, that's a little scary to think that. The trunks, I've got it put back together, and it finally closes correctly where it should be. All of your seams and everything seem to fit decent. There's nothing on this car is going to fit right because nothing is right. It would take several $1,000s, and it probably should have been totaled. But we picked it up cheap, so we can deal with a few little inconveniences. This side wasn't all that bad. I've got one more low spot here. It's kind of low that I still need to fill. This whole quarter where you can see the filler and the paint, that was completely missing as well, so I put in a patch panel there, one of my own design. And back here you can kind of start to see a weld in this general area all the way up to here. You can see this seam, this has all been filled up to about here. Across there I had to make a whole new panel, and up here too I had to make a whole new panel. It was the same as the other side. It was completely rotted out, so there was hardly anything holding the top actually on, and it was riveted the same as the other side too. Down low, this whole piece was missing as well, so that wasn't in that great of shape. Had to remake that. Up top here, where I've put some filler and a little more tape, that piece of steel was completely gone. Bear with me for just a second and I'll put up there what was up there. This part, as you can see here, was the only thing that was actually on there. Everything else was gone from there down, so whenever we pulled the vinyl top off, this was stuck to it. So that made me feel real good. It's not a factory sunroof car, so I didn't leave it out, and sunroof's in the wrong spot. So there you go. That's kind of what she is, and it's got a wood steering wheel, and most of the dash is in really good shape, so not a big deal. The floorboards were decent, not perfect, but at least decent, and I fixed part of the floorboard there. It's kind of hard to see too, but I still need to repaint the interior parts. I've got it taped off. We're going to deal with that later. So for now we're just trying to get her up and going and see what we can do. It's pretty well, she's calling it rusty, so it's Rusty's last ride. Nobody, I don't think, will ever try to fix this car after we get done with it. It won't be feasible. It won't be worth it. There's just not really enough left if it ever starts to deteriorate again. So there you have it, and hope you all enjoyed, and I'm sure as I get it painted and primed and a few other things going, I'll let you see it. So thanks again.